So, Monday I turned 18. Winning! That's right, December 10th at 12:09 p.m. I am finally 18. And to celebrate, I bought 2 packs of Black and Mild wine. They gave me wood tips. I usually get the plastic tips, but they gave me wood. And I saved the final cigar just for a review. See, I told you guys that I wouldn't stop making reviews overall, just they'd be less whenever something new comes out or just whenever I feel like it, and I happen to feel like it. Luckily, I was able to dig up the old list in the drawer. I'm so glad I kept it. I didn't remember if I did or not. Luckily, I did. Otherwise, I'd be pretty fucked. Moving on. You know, I know a lot of my friends, they rant and rave about the wood tips. They love the wood tips so much. I usually get the plastic ones. But, you know, not that I've ever had anything against the wood tips, but people seem to make a big deal about them, and I haven't had them since about 2009, so, it was good that they gave me them just to have again, and I do like them a lot, and I'm going to explain why. So, let's take a look at the presentation. It looks nice. It's not as kind of plain and basic as the regular plastic tip is. It has kind of more of a wooden thing going on. And let's take a peek at what it says on the back here. A birch wood tip and our famous Middleton pipe tobacco give Black and Mild wood tip a unique combination of smooth, distinct taste and pleasant aroma. It's another reason why you can have a cigar, or you can fuck yourself, I mean have a Black and Mild. Now, guaranteed freshness, of course. And as you know what Black and Milds are, you should know, they're individually wrapped, so that's nice. You know, it has a little pull tab here. Yeah! The smell of a Black and Mild wine brings me back to when I was a freshman in high school. I was a crazy fucker back then. I've calmed a lot since then. I mean, I'm still a crazy fucking, you know, but not so much in, you know, what I did back then. Very, very nice, sweet, just an awesome smell. Here's my lighter. It was a white lighter, so I taped it up with black tape. I'm not superstitious, but they say white lighters are bad luck. I'd rather not take the risk. You know, I like Black and Milds. I mean, I like cheap cigars anyways, but I do like Black and Milds. I mean, backwards are typically my my kind of default, but I still always have loved Black and Milds, and I think wine is probably my favorite flavor. I've never had one I didn't like, except for the apple, which isn't too good. It's not awful. I've grown to like it more than I used to, but it's still not my favorite. I do like the cream. It has overall just a nice, sweet, mellow flavor. I've always said that Black and Milds were kind of in between a cigarette and a backwood cigar. They're not like a full-out cigar, but they're not as light as a cigarette either. You know, I'm not a drinker. Alcohol's not my forte. I've been drunk a couple times and I've never liked it. No, drinking's not my thing. This brings me back to freshman year again when I was a crazy fucker. Not my thing, but I have tried wine. Wine's probably, you know, red wine. It's not bad. It's my favorite out of everything else I've tried. Everything else to me tastes like shit, but you know, whatever. You know, obviously it's a cigar. It's not going to taste just like wine, just like the Backwoods Wild Rum don't taste just like rum. It has a very sweet, fruity flavor to me. But very nice and smooth. It's just an excellent flavor. I've tried other wine-flavored cigars. I think Swisher Sweets makes them. I think I've tried them. I'm pretty sure. But these are pretty unique in their own right. I've never had a cigar that tasted quite like a Black and Mild wine does. Also, I wanted to go reflect on the wood tip here. I do like the wood tip. I actually like them more than the plastic tip now after having these 2 packs. Simply because they have more flavoring on them. If you taste them, very sexual. Not. They have flavoring on them, which I'm used to because the Backwoods do too. They don't have tips like this, but they do have the flavoring on the wrapper on the end. So I like that a lot. They're not extremely strong. They're not. To me, they're not as strong as backwoods are, or they're not as strong as my schlong is on a Friday night. Again, that kind of brings me back to in between a backwoods and a cigarette. They're lighter than backwoods cigars are. Not as light as a cigarette. They're strong for a cigarette smoker, I think, but they're not strong for me. They're not completely weak either. They're kind of in the middle, and it's comfortable. It's good. Do get a pretty good amount of smoke with them. Resistance is pretty good. Black and Milds for the most part are great on them. I've had, every once in a while I'll get a Black and Mild where there's not enough resistance in there and it's pretty much just sucking in air. But that is very rare. The only time I've ever had that happen is if the tip is slightly cracked. Every once in a while, once in a blue moon, even though the moon's not fucking blue, there will be like a small crack on the wood. And there'll just be too much air getting in. But for the most part, it's very good. It's very, like I said, once in an orange moon. Well, I guess moons sometimes look orange. They don't usually look blue to me. They usually look fucking white. I just got done watching Ted. I got it on DVD yesterday at FYE at the mall, and I gotta say, watch Ted. I'm not endorsed. I don't have endorsements, but watch Ted because it's a great movie. I just wanted to say that because it was hilarious. And yeah, structure for the most part, they're always very neatly done. I mean, I know they're done by machines, but they're usually really good. The only time I ever see a problem with the structure, I've never had one with a hole in it or coming apart at the seam, like sometimes backwoods are. I've never had a hole or anything in it. The worst I've had, again, is just a crack in the wood right here, and this one doesn't. I know it looks like it does right there, but that's just the wood. That's not actually a crack in there. I don't even know if you could see that on camera. It's not a crack, though. Trust me, I would know, and I'd be pissed! Drinking some eggnog. I'm crazy about eggnog around the holidays. It makes me very sad once the holidays pass because I don't have it anymore till the next winter. Well, technically it's not winter, but in Massachusetts, can you tell a fucking difference? Nope! I like just regular eggnog and put a little bit of cinnamon on the top. You're golden as First time I ever gargled fucking eggnog there. Oh, the things I do on video. I'll tell you. Wrapper, I'm pretty sure, is just paper. It's not a leaf like it is with backwoods, but it doesn't really matter. I think most cigars aren't anyways. It's, you know, they're sturdy and they've never had a problem with it. It doesn't affect the flavor too much. I mean, it might, but most cigars aren't leaves anyways, leaves. As far as I know, so it doesn't matter, give a fuck. They light up easy, they don't resist too much. I've never had one too wet or too dry. Have I? I don't remember if I've ever had one that's too dry. Never had one too fresh that's too wet. They light up pretty easily and they stay lit, unless you put it down for a good amount of time and leave it there. I don't do that. Typically I just smoke through them. You know, I put them down a few times, but not enough for them to go out. You know. They do last pretty good though. I don't know. Depends how fast you smoke. I'm typically a fast smoker, but with cigars I take it a little more easy than I do with cigarettes. So I'm gonna just say it's gonna be kind of a broad range, but I'm gonna say maybe about 15 to 25 minutes, depending on how fast you smoke. Again, if you put it down a lot and just kind of leave it there for 5-10 minutes, it's gonna last a lot longer. But you know, they do last well for me. As long as they're fresh, they should. And aftertaste. Never really had too much of an aftertaste with these, to be honest with you. I don't know if that's because my mouth always just tastes like fucking smoke and chew and dip, but never really got a bad aftertaste. Usually pretty fucking good as shit. So Black and Mild wines are, of course, a classic. They're very popular. I'm sure most of you watching, if you smoke, have tried them. But if you haven't, definitely try them. I'm going to rate them 9.5 out of 10. They're pretty much perfect. They're a great cigar. Cheap, last long, great flavor. They smell nice. Just an excellent cigar. Pick them up if you want. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you soon.